Hey guys, welcome to another magic chess tutorial. In today's video I'm going to be explaining everything about the Mystic Burial synergy, the new synergy in magic chess, and I'm going to be explaining the best synergy combos, the best equipment sets, the star cores, the best heroes, proper positioning, and at the end we will look at some tips and tricks to help you build a synergy and win all your games in the new season. Now before we start, don't forget to like the video if you have not, and subscribe to the channel if you have not. Like the video and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them for me in the comments, and just share the video to all your friends who would need the Mystic Burial synergy for the new season. Now you can go check out my other video about the Mystic Burial for the intro. Now let's look at what the skill does, the synergy does. The Mystic Burial synergy, you get the special item, the Mystic Scroll, when you trigger the synergy, and the Mystic Scroll can only be equipped on Mystic Burial heroes. Now when a Mystic Burial hero dies, it will resurrect, transforming into the hero carrying the Mystic Scroll with full mana. So if you have Kagura with the Mystic Scroll, every other Mystic hero will transform into a Kagura when they die, and they will cast Kagura's skill, that is, they will come up with full mana. The heroes resurrect with a certain amount of HP depending on their star level and the power of the synergy. So a 1-star hero, when they resurrect, would resurrect with it's a little HP, but the HP would increase when they get to 2-star. It would increase more when they get to 3-star. And if you have the 3-hero synergy or the 6-hero synergy, the amount of HP they resurrect with will increase as well. Now the heroes cannot gain mana after resurrecting, so it works like once the heroes die, they get full mana, but then they can't gain mana again afterwards. Now these are the Mystic Burial heroes. You have Hayabusa, he's a swordsman. You have Benedetta, a weapon master. Kagura, a mage. Leslie, a gunner. Hanzo, an assassin, and Hanabi, an archer. Now, how do you build the Mystic Burial synergy? The basic strategy. There are two strategies. The basic strategy, there are two of them, because there's 3 gold heroes that can be gotten in the selection stage. That is, you have Kagura and you have Leslie. You start with Kagura or Leslie for whichever strategy. I'm going to be explaining the two of them side by side. For Kagura, you want to build 3 mage and 3 Mystic Burial. That is, you have Kagura, Esmeralda, Cyclops, Faramis, Benedetta, and Hayabusa. For Leslie, you want to build 4 gunner and 3 Mystic Burial. That is Leslie, Benedetta, Roger, Kimi, Layla, and Hayabusa. For your Kagura strategy, you want to pick the mage core as your primary core. And for Leslie, you want to pick gunner as your primary core. Then when you are building mage, you add Julian to complete your 6 mage. And when you are building gunner, you add Claude to complete your 6 gunner. Now you pick the secondary core. You have the Mystic, for both of them, you have the Mystic Burial as your secondary core. And then you would just add Hanzo and Leslie for Kagura. For the mage synergy, you add Hanzo and Leslie, or you add Hanzo and Hanabi. While for gunner, you would add Hanzo and Kagura, or Hanzo and Hanabi as well. So your final synergy with the first strategy would be 6 mage plus 6 Mystic Burial, and with Leslie it would be 6 gunner and 6 Mystic Burial. Now here is another variation of this strategy. This is the one I personally use, and that is when you include the ablaze bounties. So instead of having 6 mage and 6 Mystic Burial, or 6 gunner and 6 Mystic Burial, you're going to have 6 mage and 4 bounties with 3 Mystic Burials, or 6 gunner, 4 bounties, and 3 Mystic Burial. Now you want to deploy Franco Honor before the second creep defense run. That is the most important thing. The primary cores remain the same. You want to get mage or gunner primary cores, but for the secondary core you want to get the ablaze bounties core. And in order to make sure you get it, if you have watched my video where I explained the fix to the star core system, you just have to trigger that ablaze bounties on this second creep defense round to make sure that you get that ablaze bounties core. So what you want to do is to deploy Franco on or before this round, but what really matters is deploying the Franco on the round, but make sure you get a Franco before that time. Now when you deploy the Franco, you will then be able to pick the ablaze bounties as your secondary core, and after that you will just, for when you are building mage, you will just add Claude, and when you are building gunner, you would add Esmeralda. Now when you are building gunner, there is one other special feature. You have Bane. You would have to replace one of your gunners with Bane, and this is because with Franco and Bane, you just need to add Freya to get the Northern Veil. So the last step for mage, you want to, if you can get a science crystal, you can add a weapon master to trigger 6 mage, 4 bounties, 3 mystic bureau, and then 3 weapon master. But if you don't have a science crystal, you will just end here. For gunner, however, you want to, if you can get a science crystal or a gunner crystal, then you add Freya. For it's supposed to be Freya, you're supposed to add Freya specifically because she's a weapon master, she's a Northern Veil. So when you are playing with gunner, you're going to have 6 gunner, 4 bounties, 3 mystic bureau, 3 weapon masters, and 3 Northern Veil. It's a very strong combination. I personally prefer using this combination as opposed to using 6 gunner and 6 mystic bureau, although I'm not saying the 6 mystic bureau and 6 gunner synergy is not as good, but I personally prefer using 6 gunner, 4 bounties, 3 mystic bureau, because I will then get 3 weapon masters and 3 Northern Veil. Now other combos for the mystic bureau, you have mystic bureau plus Forsaken Light plus archer. For this you want to start with 1-1 and build 4 archers and 2 Forsaken Lights. So basically your commander level 6 would be Mia, Irithel, Melissa, Yin, Benedetta, and 1-1. So with this you would have 4 archers and 2 Forsaken Light. Then you would pick the archer core as your primary core, and then you would want to add Brody. When you do that, you would get your 6 archers, and then you would pick the Forsaken Light core as your secondary core. Now you would just add Julian to complete your 4 Forsaken Lights. Then you would add Hanzo because you already have Benedetta, and so you would just add Hanzo to get 2 Mystic Bureau. Then you would replace Irithel or Brody with Hanabi, because then you would need Hanabi. You need Hanabi to trigger the 6 Mystic Bureau, the 3 Mystic Bureau, and you replace Irithel and Brody, so you maintain your 6 archers. So this combo is very difficult due to the high rarity of the heroes. So the best commander skill for this one actually is to use burst skill 3, because then you can maybe get Hanabi and build directly from Hanabi. But there is a way to build Mystic Bureau and Archer, and that is the direct method. And for that you would start with Kagura or Leslie. You would build 3 Mystic Bureau and 3 Archer. That is, your commander level 6 would be Mia, Hayabusa, Benedetta, Irithel, Melissa, and Kagura or Leslie. Your primary core is going to be the Mystic Bureau star core. Then you would have 4 Mystic Bureau. Then you want to add Kagura or Leslie. If you started with Kagura, you're going to be adding Leslie. If you started with Leslie, you're going to be adding Kagura. Then you add Hanzo. For this you would need commander level 8, and by the time you do that, you would have your 6 Mystic Bureau complete. Then you want to pick the archer as your secondary core. Then you replace Kagura or Leslie with Hanabi and add Brody and 1-1. So you would have 6 Mystic Bureau and 6 archer. It's almost exactly the same way you build 6 mage and 6 Mystic Bureau. It's just that instead of mage, you're just building archer. So this is a much easier way to build Mystic Bureau and archer. However, it is not, I personally would not recommend it, because the only thing the Mystic Bureau has is just as a tank. You're not really going to be able to win with this. You have to be, I don't know what's the word, but you winning with this one is much harder than when you are using Forsaken Light. So I would recommend using the Forsaken Light, even though it's more difficult. But if you really want to use Mystic Bureau and Archer, if you just want to use it, then you can just build it directly. Now another Mystic Bureau combo is Astro Power plus Assassin plus Mystic Bureau. This one actually just uses Astro Power Assassin, the usual Astro Power plus Assassin build path, but you're just adding Mystic Bureau at the end. So For this, you want to start with Karina, and your commander level 6 would be 4 astro power and 2 mystic bureau. That is Hellcut, Martis, Hayabusa Irithel, Benedetta, and Karina. For your primary core, you are going to pick the astro power star core, and you would then add Badang to trigger your 6 astro power. Then for the secondary core, you want to pick the assassin star core, and then you add Hanzo to trigger 4 assassins. Then you add a weapon master to trigger 3 weapon masters. That would be your commander level 9 team complete. Or if you want to still, if you maybe you get an astro crystal, or maybe you are using a skill that would help you very well, then you can maybe get 6 mystic bureau. You can maybe try your luck and try to get 6 astro power, 4 assassins, and 6 mystic bureau. But if you are not using a commander skill that would enhance your building, then you should just stop at 6 mystic bureau, 6 astro power, 4 assassins, and 3 mystic bureau, because then you would have 3 weapon masters with it. Now the next one is the wyrmslayer plus swordsman plus mystic bureau. For this, you want to start with Lancelot. You build 3 wyrmslayer, 3 swordsman, and 2 mystic bureau. Your commander level 6 would be Hayabusa, Valor, Kimi, Benedetta, Saber, and Lancelot. You are basically building the normal wyrmslayer plus swordsman team. Your primary star core is going to be wyrmslayer, and you would add Leslie at commander level 9 and Estes at commander level 8. This way you can trigger 3 mystic bureau and you would have 5 wyrmslayers. If you could add Masha if you want to in place of Leslie, but as usual I do not recommend using Masha, although if you want to, you can do that. Then your secondary core is going to be swordsman, and you would replace Saber with Ling whenever you can get him. The best commander for this skill, the best commander skill for this combo, however, is boss skill 3, because if you are trying to build it linearly, you will struggle very hard. If you don't, you struggle very much if you don't get Ling early enough. Now for the last one, we have Mystic Bureau plus Weapon Master. From experience, Weapon Master is more of a support synergy. If you notice, with Mage, with Mage, with Astro Power, with Gunner, we use Weapon Master as a supporting synergy. We added Weapon Master later. That is the recommended way of using the Weapon Master. However, if you want the Weapon Master to be the core of your synergy, then you can start with Kagura or Freya, and at commander level 6 you would have 3 Mystic Bureau and 3 Weapon Masters. That is Martis, Hayabusa, Benedetta, Franco, Freya, and Kagura. Then your primary core is going to be Weapon Master. You will then add Julian to trigger 6 Weapon Masters and 2 Mage. If you have Kagura, it will trigger 2 Mage with Kagura. And then your second core is just going to be Mystic Bureau. Then you can add Hanzo and Hanabi. I did not add Leslie here because we're going to have a lot of 3 gold heroes, and that would make the team unbalanced. So it's better to just use Hanabi, that 5 gold hero. Plus Hanabi with Weapon Master is equal to a lot of lifesteal. So you definitely want to use Hanabi here in place of Leslie. So that is how to build the Mystic Bureau Weapon Master. I hope everybody is able to follow the tutorial so far. Don't forget to leave a like, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. But now let us check out the recommended commander skills for the Mystic Bureau. We have Rhea skill 3, that is Budding Blossom. The skill gives you can use this skill to get a blessing, and a blessing reduces the amount of heroes you need to complete a synergy. You can use the skill on Kagura or Leslie to make building their respective synergies easier. So if you want to build Mage, Mystic Bureau, just put the blessing on Kagura. You want to build Gunner, just put the blessing on Leslie. Now if you want to build something like Astro Power Assassin, then I would recommend not actually giving Karina or Hanzo that blessing, because it is going to actually affect you if you do that. But what you can do is, if you give Karina the blessing for Astro Power Assassin Mystic, if you give Karina the blessing and she gets an assassin blessing, then that means you're not going to pick the assassin star core, because then you would have 5 out of 4 assassins, and that would be a waste. I think if I make a video about Astro Power Assassin, I can explain that one more in depth, how to use this skill for it. But you can also use it on Benedetta when building Weapon Master Mystic Bureau, and on Melissa when building Mystic Burial, Archer, and Forsaken Light. So when you build the skill on Benedetta, you can get either Weapon Master or Mystic Burial Blessings, and that would be very good. If you are building Mystic Burial, Archer, Forsaken Light, you just use it on Melissa, because you can't wait until you get Hanabi before using the blessing. So it's better to use it on Melissa so you can get maybe Forsaken Light blessings. Now the second commander skill is Petal Stars. That is Ria's skill 1, and you can use the skill to get a synergy crystal. I strongly recommend using this for Mystic Burial Gunner or Mystic Burial Archer, because you have Gunner and you have the Archer crystals, so it's very easy. And you can also use it when playing Astro Power Assassin or Wyrmslayer Swordsman. You can get an Astro Power crystal or a Wyrmslayer crystal. And I also recommend equipping the crystals on Mystic Burial heroes, like the Wyrmslayer crystal, for instance. You want to give this to Kagura. For the Astro Power crystal as well, you want to give it to Kagura. The Gunner and the Archer crystals, of course, Archer crystal maybe Leslie, or maybe even Hanzo or Bene. And for the Gunner crystal, of course, definitely you want to give it to maybe Hanabi, or maybe even Hayabusa or Hanzo. Now the next commander skill is Fanny's skill 3, that is Super Launcher. It gives you an extra hero slot, basically. That's all it does. And the hero, it gives you an extra hero slot. My personal main skill for building, it has been the skill I've used the most this season, and I've enjoyed it, and it has worked for me very well. It's my personal main skill for building Mage, Mystic Burial, and Blazing Bounties. You can use the second skill too. Instead of, if you don't have the third skill, you can use the second skill. The only advantage the third skill has over the second skill is that the hero you are putting on the platform will get 25% of its max HP when you deploy it. So that's really the only advantage it has, but that's just a very slight advantage. If you don't have the third skill, you can use the second skill. And when you are using the third skill, just please, but like I said, it gives extra HP. So you want to put your tank, that is Benedetta, you want to put Benedetta on that platform. For the Midas Touch, that is boss skill 3, I explained it completely. I completely explained it in the previous video, so make sure to check that one out if you want more information about the Midas Touch. And the other commander skills, you can use Link's skill 2, that is Showdown. If you are playing with Assassin or Swordsman, like you are playing with Astro Assassin or Wyrmslayer Swordsman, you can use Link's skill 2. You can use Link's skill 3 if you are playing with Mage, because the Phoenix does a lot of damage with the Mage synergy and the Weapon Master synergy as well. And you can use Ostos' third skill to get Link or Hanabi. Ostos' third skill is another skill I am definitely going to make a video about, because it's like that commander skill is going to be the real substitute, the new substitute for boss skill 3. So I'm definitely going to make a video about that in the future. Now the recommended equipment sets, you have the tank sets. I will assume that everybody has seen my item video, but if you haven't, make sure to check that out. I will quickly summarize it, but make sure to check that out. The tank set is basically Dominant Size, Guardian Helmet, and maybe Revitalize or Immortality, or another tank item. You want to equip this on Benedetta or Hanzo, because Benedetta is the best tank in the game right now. In terms of tank, Benedetta is number 1 right now. You can also use it for Hanzo, because Hanzo as well can be a good tank damage dealer. Then for the attack speed set, that is basically Demon Hunter's Sword and Golden Staff, you want to put this on Hanabi, because yes, Hanabi will do very well if she has the attack speed set. The physical attack set, that is basically Blade of Despair and Berserker's Fury. You want to equip this on Leslie, because of course she's a gunner. The more attack she has, the higher her crit would be. For the mage set, any mage item, you want to just put it on Kagura. Whether it is the Enchanted Talisman, the Concentrated Energy, just put it on Kagura. Now, for positioning, I will take my time to explain this. The positioning part, you have these two squares. If you remember my positioning video, these two squares are for your tank. So you want to put Benedetta here, because people generally put all their heroes on this side, So you want to put Benedetta here to just, counter all of them. And then you want to put maybe Hanzo here. For Kagura, I would recommend putting her on this square, or this square, because Kagura's range is something like, she has 3 umbrellas, right? So from here she will be able to attack everything in these 3 squares. So this square here, or this square. Or if you want to play very aggressive, you can put Kagura on this square, this square, and this square. Just remember that this square is for Bene. Then for Hanzo and Hayabusa, I can just put them in the corners. It doesn't really matter. Then Leslie would be here. So you have Hayabusa, Hanzo, Leslie, Hanabi, Kagura, and then Benedetta just in the middle here. So that is the recommended position. You just want to, what really matters, the heroes whose positioning matter the most are Kagura. You want Kagura in this square, this square, this square. You just want it so that she can attack these 3 squares immediately, and then the rest of them really don't matter. You can just put the rest of them anywhere you want, it's fine. Now the recommended star core carriers, we have the fire core. The fire core does extra damage on skills, so you want to use that for Kagura, for Leslie, because these are the ones who do, you know, multiple hits on their skills. I would recommend using it for Leslie because Leslie's skill does 4 damages, so Leslie would be very good for it. The water core, it freezes enemies with their skills, but you know, the targets can be frozen very quickly. That's why you can't use Leslie here, because there's a cooldown on it. If not, Leslie would have been good. So Kagura, Hanabi, Benedetta, they are the recommended ones for the water core. For the earth core, you want to just use this on, I would prefer this on Benedetta actually, because Benedetta is the tank. This earth core is a tank core. The star core carrier gains a shield of 30% max HP, so definitely you want to put this on your tank, that is Benedetta. And for thunder core, this thunder core is just a damage core. Just put it on Kagura. If you can put it on Kagura, or if your core is Hanzo or Leslie, you can just put it on whoever your core hero is. Then for the wind core restores 60% mana after killing a target, so definitely you want to put this on a killer. That would be Kagura. But Hanzo is one that can, you know, he is able to just, if Hanzo can get this core, he will just constantly keep, you know, devouring the enemies and gaining mana and then devouring more enemies. So that's why I would recommend putting this on Hanzo the most. After Hanzo, then Kagura. The light core, you know, the star core carrier gains 100% physical defense and 100 physical defense and 100 magic defense for each copy of the hero with the mystic scroll. This just means that the more mystic heroes you have that have died and resurrected, the hero carrying this star core is going to become even more tanky. And which other hero do you want except for Benedetta? Benedetta is just the hero for this star core, and Hanzo, because Hanzo is also a tank. He's also a melee hero that can be a tank. And finally, the arcana core. This core is my favorite because it is broken. If the star core carrier survives a round without using his immortality, you gain a copy of that hero. No other caveats, no other hidden charges. You gain a free copy of the hero. I used it to get a 3-star Hanabi in my last game. You can check that out as well. But the arcana star core is just recommended for whoever your core hero is. And finally, let's just look at some tips and tricks. The core heroes and recommended scroll carriers for each combo are, for Mystic Mage, you want to give it to Kagura. Your core heroes are Kagura, Cyclops, and Julian. And your scroll should be on Kagura, because all of the Mystic heroes need to turn to Kaguras for that extra damage. When you are building Mystic Gunner, you want your scroll on Leslie so that all your Mystic Bureau heroes can turn to Leslie's. And your main hero is Claude. He's not a Mystic Bureau Gunner, but Claude is your main gunner. After that, you can have Leslie and Roger. For Mystic Assassin Astro, of course, the main hero is still Karina. Then you have Hanzo. Those two are your main carry heroes in this combo. Then you have Benedetta as your tank. For Mystic Swordsman Wyrmslayer, Ling, of course, is the most important hero. After that, you have Lancelot and Kagura. Kagura, if you have a Wyrmslayer crystal, you can easily use Kagura on that, and you give your scroll to Kagura, of course. And for Mystic Archer, you want to have your scroll on Benedetta, and this is because archers need tanks, so you want to give it to Benedetta and actually place all your Mystic Bureau heroes in the front so that they can actually protect your archers. So all of them will turn to Benedettas, and all of them will just keep resurrecting and tanking a lot. Then I recommend using the 3. This is something a lot of people might disagree with, but you know, you just have to hear me out. The 3 Mystic Bureau synergy is better than the 6 Mystic Bureau synergy, and here is why. The 6 hero synergy really only adds more HP. With the 3 Mystic Bureau synergy, they resurrect to 20% max HP, but with the 6 Mystic Bureau they resurrect with 40%. Now that is a lot of HP, but the problem is they don't gain mana anyway, so what is the point? If you are building it with Mystic Archer or Mystic Gunner, where Leslie actually needs to survive long enough to shoot at 4 shots, then okay, having more HP is good. Or maybe you are playing with Archer, where you need tanks to protect your archers, that's good. But when you are playing with Mage, you just need them to turn to Kaguras and cast their skills. Kagura's basic attack is not going to do anything, especially not a dead Kagura. So if you're playing with Mage, definitely you don't need to use 6 Mystic Bureau. Just use your 3 Mystic Bureau and then play with 4 bounties. Esmeralda is there. Esmeralda is one of the best heroes right now. I will still upload one video right now where soon where Esmeralda actually hard carried my game. So Esmeralda, just get that blazing bounties core and have Esmeralda do the real carrying. And like I said, ablaze bounty is a perfect addition. You can also add Forsaken Light or Necro Keep. And that is all about this video, about the tutorial, about the Mystic Bureau synergy. I hope the tutorial was understood. It is fairly long, I get, but I hope everybody was able to follow, and I hope you understood everything. You can try out. There's so many combos in this video. You can try all of them out. Let me know how it goes in the comments. And yeah, thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.